The topic of my paper is, at least now we can speak, this is in quote, or maybe heard, the role of social media in challenging Eritrea's state repression. It's still a little puzzling that I came here to talk about Eritrean freedom of expression. Possible angles of this subject, particularly on traditional media, have reached a dead end. I will mention few reports to justify why I'm mainly focusing on social media. In 2015 survey, Committee to Protect Journalists named Eritrea the most censored country on earth, followed by North Korea. With 16 journalists behind bars, it is the highest jailer of journalists in sub-Saharan Africa. In the annual Press Freedom Index compiled by Reporters Without Borders, Eritrea held the bottom rank, 180 out of 180, for consecutive 10 years, until 2017. According to World Internet Stats, the country's current internet penetration is estimated to 1.3%, making it the least connected country on earth. So I'm just saying this to just give you a hint about the traditional media. Now that's why I'm focusing on social media. So far there has not been published works that attempt to study the role of social media, particularly in the Eritrean context. So using the Arab Spring as point of comparison, I have collected my data through in-depth interviews, and I also used my kind of first-hand experience as participant of the struggle. To frame my research, I have applied public sphere theory, concept of speaking truth, power, social media as disruptors, and so on. So I wrote this paper, it's 25 pages, so I just have to summarize it before to present it here. So you have to understand, I mean, I'm just kind of making the highlights. So I analyze only the political aspect of social media, and I have research on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube only. So these are some of the contributions of social media in kind of challenging state repression in Eritrea. Media outlets such as Asenna, Erena, Voice of America, BBC Tigrinya, and websites such as Auto.com, Azmarna.com, Asenna that are accessed in Eritrea are bridge between the two populations and amplify the messages that have been circulated on social media. Two, social media sites have helped many Eritreans conquer their fear and demystify the power of the regime. Recent example of this is the AKL challenge. Social media is partially helping document horrendous crimes committed by the regime. Social media is assisting in identifying the offenders of the crimes and serves as kind of watchdog. Social media is serving as main media outlet to access the most inaccessible country. Crucial information that will later reach the international media usually is leaked through social media. I'll give you some examples of such, like the April 2016 shooting in Asmara that was captured with iPhones. In fact, Martin also wrote about it. The Accra demonstration of October 2017 that was captured with iPhones and then was leaked on social media. The assassination attempt of General Sabah Defrem that happened in December 2018. And recently, the interview of Third Patriarch Omne Antonius, who was in prison and under house arrest, that was also leaked through social media. Other functions. With all its challenges, social media serves as the most reliable platform to discuss events and act on follow-ups. In the absence of civic society and other platforms, social media has enabled many youth to assert readiness for potential community leaders and organizers. I could think of Vanessa now in this case. Social media sites such as sectism, now inactive for some time, have been challenging the closed regime by posting classified files. With the emergence of YouTube channels, YouTube channels, social media has effectively ended the state monopoly on music, and this is a big challenge for the regime as well. Social media sites are helping Eritrean diaspora combine online and offline opposition. This is from organizing opposition and organizing demonstration to coordinating signing of petitions to presenting actors to perjuring actors. So social media are playing kind of organizing this. Social media and independent media have been operating as kind of offshore opposition to the Eritrean regime, particularly after the peace deal with Ethiopia recently. So these are some of the functions of social media, and now try to see the response from the state. Having effectively closed all independent media, the Eritrean regime is realizing that social media has been the new front in challenging its near total control. When state media fails to cover significant developments but reaches the diaspora community through social media, the information minister, Yamana Gabriel, frequently responds in a tweet. Such attempts are meant both to downplay the incidents and tip the trolls how to act. Apart from these tips, the regime is also going further, heavily investing on social media. This includes from coordinating, kind of giving training to trolls, identifying people who should be targeted by the trolls, and hacking websites or blogs. Mine was an example. Like my blog has been hacked sometime last year. So these are examples that's how the regime is responding, and this is only the only measure that we can see that social media is kind of affecting the regime. So, as I've said, there has been some empowering aspect of social media, but we also have challenges with social media. So, despite all the liberating factors, it would be a mistake to pass it without discussing some of the challenges posed by social media. Some are attributed to Eritreans, only Eritrean space, some are attributed to social media at large. First, digital communication and social network sites decrease physical participation, especially as in Eritrean diaspora, since we have only the leverage of pressuring from outside. This just becomes difficult to secure change inside the country. Social media sites increase political polarization through selective exposure and creating echo chambers. So this further exacerbates the already polarized Eritrean political landscape. Over the long course, fellow activists in the same camp have been using social media to attack each other. Especially the Eritrean state security and other forces such as Ethiopian state security with different agenda have played negative role using social media in tarnishing the credibility of some activists, and this contributes to a culture of cynicism. Social media sites by nature are enablers of populist sentiments. In the case of Eritrea, they have enabled fomenting regional and sub-regional or religious allegiance. And the last case of this is creating of this Agazia movement we were talking about yesterday. This is part of the effect of social media, I guess. So these are some of the challenges, and now I also have few like how to move forward. Of course, there is no replacement to established traditional media, and social media is just alternative media by its nature. So, but we don't have that luxury, so we still have to deal with social media until we secure some kind of change. As long as social media serves as main option of cracking information and blockage, there are some aspects that Eritreans in diaspora can take it for a better advantage. One, there is a need for greater media literacy so that citizens can identify false claims by cultivating critical thinking and scrutinizing posts. The diaspora-based independent media outlets need to take extra steps to verify and use their judgments before disseminating it. I can see, for example, Asena is here now, part of the Eritrean media. So I'm just putting this on, like Asena, Awate, Azmarino, and other media outlets. They need to take extra measures to verify before kind of disseminating them back. Although this might be not easy, But social media users are advised to identify users who are who tend to kind of post false claims, and see, for example, and then create some kind of checks to say so and so kind of usual posts about negative or kind of post fake news. Okay. So it's good to triangulate before posting and sharing. And instead of only depending on quotes or kind of sites, it's good to kind of go to the original source and see, read it yourself. Because I always see this, like, for example, some might just misquote from an article and then post it, say, so and so said this. But if you go and check the original article, you can see the context. So this is just for all of us. I'm saying we need to kind of check it before posting. I think I'm done.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.